Three, two, one. Welcome everybody to the TOC podcast. It is your host Crusader. I want to thank all my friends, family, and supporters out there and veterans. I salute you. Remember to help the channel out by subscribing and take aim at that like button. Put that magazine in and charge it and blow it away. Today we have a very special guest, Sebastian. He's from Chile. He came all the way out here to get involved with the International Legion. He's got a really good story. He's got a lot of great insight. He can tell it better than I. So, Sebastian, why don't you take it away?
Okay, thank you so much for inviting me here. Just a little detail. I was not in the International Legion. I was in working with the territorial defense, actually, but it's kind of the same thing. Like, it's an international unit anyway. Like, that I think since 2022, like, all the units in the ground forces, territorial defense, the UOR, the SSO have received foreigners from all the countries. Sometimes it's better when you speak Russian, Ukrainian, English, or something. Even other units that just receive Spanish people now. I think that Karpatska is receiving just Spanish people. I don't know. But yeah, like I was working in the beginning with or most of the time actually. So yeah, that's most of me basically.
So, Sebastian, why don't you tell us about your experience before Ukraine? I know that you were an officer in the Chilean army.
Oh yeah, well, actually, I started to. I always wanted to join the army, but when I finally decided that was in 2014 when I saw the illegal annexation of Crimea and the invasion of the Donbass and Lugansk. So during that time, I was just like, okay, in the past, I felt some kind of safety. Some kind of. I used to feel safe because of I felt that if something happened to us, United States or the NATO will help us. Because we were allies, but then I realized that no one helped Ukraine during that time. So it changed my mind, and I thought, okay, well, if something's gonna happen, we're maybe gonna be alone. So in 2015, I entered in the military academy of Chile. I entered in the military skill team of Chile. So I spent 4 years, obviously with the cadet course. Just like in West Point, but we were also training with the Special Operations Brigade just to develop more skills to compete in international level in military skills competition. So because of that, I went to United States. I went to West Point specifically to compete in a Sandhurst military skills competition. I went to Mexico. In the end, I competed against people from, United States. I competed against Russia. I competed against China, Japan, France, Germany, Latvia, UK, obviously, Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, Argentina, Peru. I can't even remember almost most of Australia. Just a lot of countries. Sometimes also not just compete against, but also train together. So because of that, it opened a little bit my mind about how not just one doctrine is perfect. Every doctrine has different ways to deal with different problems, with different situations. So that opened my mind, and because of that, I just started to study a lot. Later, I graduated. I did in 4 years, I did special operations elective, passed that thing, then graduated, started to go for my platoon commander course. I finished my platoon commander, and I got deployed, and I got posted in an infantry regiment. And after that, in my first year, there was something called estallido social in my country. It was a really, really big social unrest that ended up in, a lot of problems, a lot of violence for the first time in 30 years in my country, since 30 years, I think, or even more, since the return of the democracy. and I ended up being the commander of QRF for the Directorate of National Defense for the fifth region of my country. So that was kind of like a cool position for like a just really fresh second lieutenant. And after that, yeah, like I wanted to go for more specialize myself in other areas, but COVID came, so basically like everything stopped during that time. And then I go to, what else happened? Oh yeah, I go to staff because I protected like a couple that got assaulted. Got some scars, some treatment, some PTSD to deal with. Spent some months dealing with that. Therapy, everything was pretty good actually. I have like some scars in my face because of that. After that, returned to. Mm-hmm.
What type of civil unrest was going on in Chile at this time?
Ooh, like it was pretty weird. Like from one day to another, simply like there was like massive riots, looting. Like no one knows actually even now what happened, but if it was like planified, yeah, I think it's the word, or not. But they burn almost all the metro stations in the capital city. They try to do the same in like the biggest cities in Chile. Like obviously it was curfew. During curfew, sometimes some gangs, I don't know, started to shoot at us. Like I got my first firefight in one of those places. There was a lot of policemen wounded. Also some soldiers got wounded. It was like the first experience dealing with, like the 4 years in the military academy. Yeah, and after the year in the infantry school was kind of like if you miss something, you're just gonna get yelled at maybe, or just get like a bad score. But later, in this kind of situations, I just realized that like the decisions that I'm gonna take as an officer, as a commander, are gonna affect my people directly. Like I can get people wounded, I can get people killed, and it was like a really, really, really like complicated situation for a second lieutenant. But yeah, like I don't know, there was a lot of shit. Like I had actually like a really funny photo that appeared in all BBC and other media in Chile. Even now you can find it. It's like because a guy threw a Molotov to me, and I just moved just in time. The Molotov exploded like close to my feet, and I just grabbed the riot shotgun and just put like 2 shots on him. And obviously after that he just ran away. But that Molotov could have burned my what happened when someone gets hit by a Molotov. But yeah, like the photo was just in the moment. The guy, like the journalist, did a really good job, and it became pretty popular. But thankfully I was there with a balaclava, because for some people I was like I became like the representative of order and freedom, and for others I became some sort of I don't know, the soldier that's pointing his gun at its own people or something like that. But yeah, I just like never say a word about this until now.
That's really interesting. Excuse me for my ignorance, but does Chile have problems with like narco trafficking?
No. Actually, I was checking like for the last, I think, 20 years, we were considered the second safest country in the American continent. Like we were safer than United States, like almost every country except Canada. So no, like Chile is a really safe country most of the time. Like you can just go during night. Right now, I think there's some like problems with illegal immigration. After my country signed the Ottawa Treaty, like so we took out all of the personal mines that were in the desert in the border with Peru, and because of that we started to receive a lot of immigration. So, but finally we are dealing with that. But even so, like Chile is still being really, really safe. It's not like, every country has its problems, but yeah, we don't have like the FARC, and we don't have guerrillas. People can just walk during nights without problems. Yeah, it's a safe country.
Good. It's a beautiful country too, from what I've seen. So let me ask you, what made you like get involved with Ukraine? Like, what motivated you to come, halfway across the world to get involved in another country's conflict?
Well, I think I was started to read about Ukraine since I was really, really young, like 2004. Like I remember the Orange Revolution started to happen during that period of time. I knew a lot about the history of almost every country in Europe, and not Europe, also Asia. I really like history, so Ukraine was, for me, was pretty interesting because like it was older. I mean, it's one of the oldest. I don't know how to say empire cities. It was actually the biggest city in the medieval age in Europe. I like it how like later how that culture survived Russification. How basically you can read about like Taras Shevchenko, that he lived all his life in exile because he was pro-Ukrainian in a period where like being a nationalist was like illegal. So yeah, like I really like it, Ukraine, like because it was like a really like a strong culture, strong people, but obviously that's really different from deciding to come here. But yeah, like in 2014, as I mentioned, I was again like I knew about Ukraine, not just because I like it to play a stalker, but yeah, I like Ukraine. I saw what was happening, and I was like, why no one is doing something? And I think that I don't know, that make a change on me, like that I really wanted to help people, not just in my country. So in the beginning I also thought about like that they're not that good as I will have been expecting. So yeah, well, then I mentioned before I had PTSD, but I also had some good friends, some really like close people that I never met in person, but like with pandemics, you were like just living alone in your house. In my case, also getting like treatment because of all the wounds that I had, and I had like some Ukrainian friends that were really, really like supportive. Like I had a friend that she was like really, 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 really nice. Like I think she knew more about me and about my schedule, my medical schedule, about my surgeries than me. Sometimes she was remembering me. Oh, in 2 weeks you have a surgery, and I was so yeah, like they helped me a lot. And after all that time, I got better, and then the invasion started, and obviously their lives just became. I mean, their lives as they used to be just disappeared. They became cinder. They became dust, and I just felt that, not just because I was pro-Ukrainian, but also now I had like a really close, like a personal bond. I say like, you know what? I'm gonna go and try to help Ukraine, and I know how to fight. I mean, I've been doing this during that time 8 years. So yeah, I want to do something, and I believe in my skills. So like, I got my passport, and I was about to leave, and all of my friends, especially like one of my friends in one year in personal, let's call her Diana. I don't know. Diana say like, if you come here, like I will never forgive myself if something happened to you. So I just calm down and decided to spend the first year just sending equipment, sending gear, because I had a company in Chile. Like I was dealer of, I was dealer of a tactical gear like company, more than one actually, like 4 or 5. And I started to send that equipment to Ukraine all the time, like everything that I could. All the profit that I did, like in the first year, just went to military gear. And after that, yes, I decided, okay, I'm just gonna go in February of 2023. I went to Ukraine, did some connections with some NGOs, also delivered some gear, some thermoplastic for making plate carriers, and then I ended up also training some legionnaires. I trained some people. And after that, I returned to Chile. I never say anyone, no, I never mentioned this to my bosses, obviously, that I was active duty and went to Ukraine to help, obviously without getting involved in combat. And after that, I thought, okay, I will just try to calm myself, focus in my career. Also, like this bond that I had with Diana disappeared. There was some issues, and time passed, like 1 month. Then I just realized that I could not live without think. I mean, I was thinking in Ukraine all the time about the things that were happening, like things that you see, how the people treat you, like especially how the people treat you there, like. The Ukrainians were so nice to me that I just thought, like, these people don't deserve what's happening. And I fell in love with the country. Ended up declining my commission the 1st of June. It took me a month actually. Like I asked for declining my commission in May, in a little bit before May maybe. And obviously there's this lot of paperwork because I was an officer. My commanders, the division commander, tried to just convince me to not to not decline my commission. They offered me going to the Special Operations Brigade. That's something that I wanted to do, but I could not because of the pandemic during that time. But like I ended up sending a letter to the president. That's also part of the job that you have to do to decline your commission. He signed, and he signed the 1st of June, and the 13th of June I was already coming to Ukraine. I had sold all my stuff, sold my guns, sold a car that I had, and just grab my stuff and come here.
Did you have to contact somebody at the Ukrainian embassy first, or how did you go about figuring out where to go, who to join?
Oh yeah, first in the I had the contacts in the Ukrainian embassy from before, from the beginning of the war, because the beginning of the invasion, because I wanted to donate stuff, and they gave me good contacts to do it. They actually helped me with the passport in 2022. But then I already had the contacts from the first time that I went to Ukraine. So I just contacted this unit, met the guys. While I was signing, they were passing. I was passing the background check. I was just helping units, training guys, doing some NGO stuff just for stay busy. I didn't want it to. I'm still just trying to be busy because I just feel that I didn't destroy my life in Chile. I didn't burn everything down in my country just to come here and be relaxed. I still thinking the same all the time. I need to. My purpose is to help. So I just continue helping everyone that I saw. Some NGOs asking me, "Hey, Sebastian, can you help us with I don't know." Go to Kharkiv to get some stuff. Okay, let's go. Hey, can you train this unit? Oh, okay, let's go. So I was just training people non-stop. Sometimes I deal with some with some stuff that was pretty weird, but I cannot mention for like security. So I was just helping everything legal, obviously. Going to some places, sometimes a little bit dangerous, just helping basically, like a pirate. And after that, yeah, my contract got signed, and I ended up going to Kramators first. Met the rest of the guys from this unit that just was created, and I started to just help to get more people, help to organize a job, even when I was just a soldat.
Hey, I'm sorry, Sebastian. You cut off there for a minute. Right when you said like you were organizing to get more people.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was organizing to get more people, organizing to get more equipment, having like all the time meetings with other commanders to know what capabilities we could increase, where we could help. Went to do some recon close to Bakhmut. Nothing really like ultra cool. Then, well, I trained some guys in the unit just to make a good unit. Then my unit got deployed to Makivka. I helped a little bit with mission planning, and also with helping. I mean, I was teaching combat estimate and troop leading procedures to some commanders in the battalion.
How did that go? I mean, was there like maybe language or cultural boundaries that might have been difficult? Like, how receptive were the Ukrainians to learn?
That's true. Like, it's good that you mentioned, because yeah, like I think you know that I'm really good at like making people laugh. Like, for me, it's difficult just to be serious and not throw a joke. So I think that yeah, being humble helped a lot to just open doors. Obviously, they knew who I was, what was my background, but I was like, just like, okay, guys, I want to learn how you do that stuff. And then we can like see how I used to do my stuff, and let's try to find how to say like a common place between that, and then realize, oh, why you do this in this way? Oh, for this reason. Oh, you know that maybe you can do it like this. And we found like a way to work with every commander. For example, even with stuff like BMPs, how not to make it in the Soviet way, how not to make it in the NATO way, just to do like a mix of both, that was actually working pretty well, and everyone was happy with it.
What, like on like dismounting from the vehicle?
Yeah, how to dismounting, yeah, but not in the way that everyone does in like NATO countries. How you do it, like in my case, how we used to do it in Martyrs or in MOVAX. That we use those were the vehicles that we use in, or Strikers, for example, or Bradleys, but not like the people do it in, also like in the VMPs, that they make like a file behind the vehicle that now with FPVs is just like a death trap. So we started to find ways. We started to talk about ways to make it safer, to make it faster, just depending on the situation. Like considering threat like artillery, because this is not Afghanistan. So yeah, it worked pretty well, honestly, and especially because my area of expertise. I don't know if expertise, because it sounds like I'm some sort of arrogant bastard, but yeah, like I am good at mission planning. So a lot of commanders were just like calling me or asking me how I do stuff, and I wanted to know how they do their own stuff. And some people that was just also wanted to learn stuff from me. I was like, okay, just let's try to find ways to do stuff, and it worked. Later, in my people, as I say, got deployed to. Yeah.
Oh, where were you deployed? Sorry, cut off.
Yeah, because we went. Yeah, like we went to like Makivka. I remember we did with the battalion commander like a recon to Luhansk, to like the area. Then I could not go deploy to with my guys the first time, so I was part of the mission planning about all the mission in the like all the about like the all ports, about where we will put the people. So just like getting drone footage, just doing mission planning basically. Ended up going. I had to go to Poland like for some days. Ended up also doing other stuff with another unit for like a week. Then I returned. Like. Also, I mean, it's pretty cool at the same time. Like, you know, like when you imagine the war, usually you think that you will be like shooting all the time, getting shot all the time, explosions everywhere. It's kind of true. But there's also lots of like human interaction, like funny stories, like getting chill and laughing about stuff that happened. Sometimes dealing with personal problems or attitudes of other people, trying to keep your guys together, trying to solve conflicts, inner conflicts, trying to, I don't know, calm guys because, you know, you met a guy, I don't know, the more people you know in this country, the more chances are that someone that you know is gonna die, is gonna get wounded. So also dealing with the emotions of all of us. And I think that's pretty cool. Like, yeah, there's people that are not just like good soldiers, but there's people that I met that they were like nice persons, like a nice person that they knew how to keep people together, how to make us laugh. Like there was, you know, there's sometimes like a guy that he's not the most professional, but he knows how to keep it's like a moral booster. We had a guy that was a real moral booster, and so most of the stories that I remember in the first year are actually about like stuff that he said or he did. But yeah, like after all that, we ended up going to Kupiansk. And well, in Kupiansk, we were like, it was pretty a complicated situation. And then I got wounded in Kupiansk actually. So
why don't you tell us about that operation? Like, what happened? How did you get wounded?
Okay, so well, the day that I got wounded, actually, I'll focus just in that day, specifically. So we were in the positions already, and we needed to recover some gear. Like, I don't want to say shit about some specific about some individuals.
What kind of position were you in? Is this like a forest? Are you guys in like foxholes?
Yeah, because because Kupiansk is like, it's not like a ultra super Gucci trenches, because it's really, the terrain is really difficult. It's just forest, a lot of forest, like fallen trees everywhere. I will have like hoped that more leaves, more branches in it. So, but no, it's most of the forests. Sometimes some areas are like just burned, so there's not a lot of cover from drones.
Like, how do you guys get to this position? Was it dangerous just getting to the line zero?
I think yes. I mean, the FIVA is really, it's dangerous as fuck. Artillery especially, and also because, I mean, I think that the last meters before getting into positions are the most dangerous, because, you know, like everyone, like the drones are fixed in that area. The drones, someone needs to cross that linear danger area. So yeah, like if, like 1 kilometer before getting into there, we were just receiving artillery, constant artillery.
What kind of artillery? Is it like grad, or is this clusters?
I mean, the first day, I think it was most of the time was just like a 81 mortar, but that's not real artillery. But yeah, like I am not sure what kind of artillery it was. I think it was like maybe grads. I mean, I know that we were fighting because I checked like several sources of information and also the intelligence reports that we had. I think we were fighting the 138 and the 25. Maybe that's those were the units. It's like a motor guard brigade or something, infantry brigade. But they were also like with an artillery unit that again I cannot remember the number because I don't know. I was not expecting to talk about this, but yeah, like they had like some serious guys. They had really good mortar guys too, like really, really precise. So yeah, obviously I hope they are dead by now, but yeah, they were really precise.
And what were these positions like once you got to them? Like, what conditions were they in?
I mean, they were not. I mean, they were like as good as they can be in a forest. So yeah, like some part was like under, like maybe like some centimeters. How to say? Yeah, there were some that were like really low, so you needed to basically crawl. Others were like there were some good blindage over there, but all the rest is like no cover. Then you had other positions that they were like forward positions that they were actually good, but we didn't spend too much time there. But I spent like time just like going from one place to another in the forest, and it was actually one of those that we got spotted by a drone. At the same time that we started to receive, we were like in the middle of the forest, and we started to receive so mortar fire. We started to receive drops from a drone. I remember some like I saw like 4 or 5 like small arms shooting at our position. I think it was AKs. I mean, I know it was AKs actually. And yeah, we had to break contact because we were like not enough people, and we needed to get out of that kill area. So we got basically in an ambush. I was the commander of this group, and even when I didn't like some people that was attached to us, also we got some Ukrainians that they were like they needed to recover some stuff, and they went there, and we just got them. I just ended up separating this group in 2 teams. Yeah, broke contact. I managed to get the first group out of the kill zone. They got back to their positions, like I don't know, 700, 800 meters away from us. Then we stay a little bit, start to receive again like artillery and some drops. After some bounding, I got a terminal in my. I started to give suppressing fire, and I think because of that, the drone decided that I was like a good target. Got some terminal in my arm. Just put a tourniquet there. One guy tried to come and try to help me to tight the tourniquet, and I'd say like get the fuck out of here. Like it's not a good idea to be 2 together. Just grab my rifle, and at the same time, someone throw a grenade to me. Just cover myself. Told the guys to continue running. We continue running. I got my rifle again. Start to suppress the guys that were like trying to get closer to us. I mean, the Russians that were trying to get closer to us. I think it was kind of good. I think it worked because I started to see less muscle flashes. So I don't know if I took down some maybe 2 or 3. I don't know, or maybe 1 at least. But yeah, they stopped shooting. We started running again. one of my guys got hit. I just realized he got hit, but when I mentioned if it's okay, the guy's like he's a really cool Australian, so he was like, he didn't give a fuck. Maybe he didn't realize in the first moment. You say, okay, let's continue. Like he got like a grenade like at 2 meters from him, literally. But I don't know, really lucky guy. Also was carrying a bag full of ammunition, so maybe the bag received part of the shrapnel. Yeah, we continue bonding. Then I got again like in a higher position. We waited a little bit because I was taking note of like how many drops the Russian drones had. Also about the amount of artillery that was falling on us and where it was falling, obviously. And yeah, I saw like a moment. I told the guys to start running again, and when they were running in the open, I just got my rifle, start to shoot against to the Russians that were starting to shoot to my guys. And then when I was about to start running, I hear this sound of incoming, something coming to you. Like, it's really weird sound, like from the mortars.
It's like whistle?
Yeah, it's a whistle. It's pretty weird. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's like, you know, when you are like walking during the night and you see something coming to you. I had that same feeling. It's pretty weird. I just remembered what a friend told me once, that she was in this restaurant in Kramatorsk, this pizzeria that got hit. And she told me that when she heard the missile coming to this building, she put her hands in her neck, just because of trauma. So in that second, I thought, oh, she did this. I don't know. She kind of saved my life in that way, because I just put my left arm around my neck, and then I just saw a lot of like a mist, like a red mist, like crimson mist, like for like one frame of like one frame, and then I was again in the floor, but like 2 meters or maybe 3 meters away, because I tried to jump, and I think that because I jump, part of the shock wave, I mean, I did less resistant to the shock wave and just flew away. And yeah, I think I fell like 2-3 meters away from the place where it was. And I was like, okay, I did like a really quick check. Okay, trying to run, trying to stand on my feet, and I realized that my left arm was broken, and the same Australian that was wounded, also that received shrapnel, just came and tried to help me, and I told him like, no, what the fuck, don't try to help me, mate. It's like, I can walk. I didn't know if I could walk. Anyway, I told like, I can walk, and like we are two together. It's too dangerous. And then I saw like my guys thinking that they were still running, and I saw them like 200 meters away, looking at me, and I was like, hey, what the fuck, run! And they didn't run, like, run! And they started to run again, because I think they were like a little bit in shock, because they thought that I got killed, because yeah, there was a lot of smoke from the place where this stuff just fall to like just like 1 meter from me or something. Later I realized that even my rifle had received shrapnel, and so my rifle kind of like also saved my life. I also felt a lot of pain in the legs, especially more than in my arm, because in my arm already had a tourniquet, so it cut a little bit of the blood flow and the nerves, so it didn't hurt a lot. So yeah, I got back to a safe area, grabbed my radio, and just asked the rest of the guys if everyone is okay. They told me, yeah, everyone is okay, and I just said like, okay, I'm like a little bit fucked, so I'll start treating myself. And I grabbed my first aid kit, and then the rest of the guys came, and I was like, okay, guys, I have a wound here, and we started to treat my wounds by myself, like just packaging everything. Later, we got a medic, and the medic came, and I told him, hey, do you have some splints? Because my elbow is fucked. Also, one of the guys say like, oh, Sebastian, half of your elbow is gone. I say like, shut the fuck up, like, you're not a doctor. So I still moving my fingers, so it's not that bad. Obviously later with the tourniquet, I stopped moving my fingers because I just didn't have enough blood flow. We stayed in the position, receiving drops, receiving artillery, receiving a lot of fucking artillery for like, maybe 1 hour and a half or something. It's difficult to know the exact time. Got a little bit more of situational awareness, and then when we saw like an opportunity, we went to a blindage and start like repackaging everything. And I told one of these guys, the medic, hey, let's inject me this tranexamic acid, and let's convert this tourniquet, because I just realized, because of the mission planning, that it was like suicidal for me and for the rest of the guys that could go with me, to go like while there was daylight. So I told the guys, okay, this sounds like shit, but I'm gonna have to wait for like 15 hours to also manage the casevac of other casualties, Ukrainian casualties. Casevac for me, for the Australian guy, and for other like Ukrainians.
I'm sorry, Sebastian, you got cut off there. Did you say you had to wait 15 hours till nighttime before you were able to move?
Oh yeah, so yeah, I just got a connection with Starlink and coordinated my casevac, the casevac of the Australian guy, the casevac of the other Ukrainians that were there. Just try to manage some stuff. Calm, also start to make a lot of jokes because I didn't have any painkillers. I gave my painkillers like the day before to someone else because I just stupid. And I still had my own antibiotics, so I just took those. I just managed the pain using the power of humor, the power of comedy, because it was really painful.
Especially how did they medevac you? Was it a vehicle or?
No. I mean, this was a forest, so it's pretty dangerous to try to get a vehicle there. So in the night, we just check when was less artillery. We got all the wounded Ukrainians and started to go across. I mean, I just put my plate carrier back, grabbed my rifle, put everything, grab all my stuff, and starting moving during night to a casualty collection point that was like maybe 4 or 5 kilometers away.
That's pretty far.
Yeah. So we got there, and then I had because I was the one the guy that was like urgent chirurgic. They decided to evacuate me first with the Australian. Then the second another lorry came and took the other guys, and we got to a stabilization point. And then there's this photo where I appear smiling with showing my elbow and all my wounds in my abdomen. Abdomen, I think is the word. I was pretty fucked. But I was, and at the same time, I try all the time to keep my people calm, to even calm the rest of the Ukrainians. Just telling it's okay, shit happens, nothing is gonna be it's not terrible. You see, I'm still having all the important parts of my body in its place. It's gonna take me some time to recover, but I will return. And yep.
So do they bring you to the closest city to like their field hospital? How'd that work?
Yeah. Like first stabilization point, I was in the Saint Cupianos, like getting some extract some channel that I had inside my body. So I remember there was this guy with a magnet trying to find one of the terminal inside my body, and I was like, "What are you doing? Like, how does it work? Supposedly?" And he told me, "No, we need to just like if you see that it moves inside, that means that there is where this terminal is." And I say like, "Are you sure that this works? Because I cannot feel anything." And then I was just talking with my battalion commander that came to see me, and I was talking with him, and then I told him, "Hey, are you touching me with the magnet?" And he told me, "No." "Oh, well, now I know where the terminal is." And they told me, "Okay, we're gonna sedate you a little bit to try to take this terminal out of your body." And I told the guys, so I'm gonna be awake? And they say yes. And I say, "Okay." There's no single chance that's gonna happen. I just fall asleep and woke up later because I was so tired after like 2 or 3 days without sleeping anything. So yeah, it was not so cool. But then I went to a field hospital. After that, to Kharkiv, to another hospital where they were like, I checked my wounds. I was kind of like pissed off because I didn't have my cell phone. I didn't have anything, so I was basically like disconnected from everyone. But I wrote the number of my commander and the number of one of my friends in a paper from before, but the numbers were like in a different order, but I could memorize them just because if something happened to me, like even if I got captured, I will know how to not give information. But yeah, basically codify the numbers and the names in the paper. And then I just got that one, thankfully, because that way I could like talk with the rest of the guys. Well, then went to Lviv, the Lviv front. And then I went to like another hospital in a small city in the west. And after that, ended up in Germany for like some time in the what's the name of this place? Koblenz Bundeswehr Central Krankenhaus. Got treatment there. Got a surgery. They treated me really well. And after some time, went back to Ukraine again. Help another unit with some mission planning. Started getting help, but also in a stabilization point. After that, I started to train people, and I've been training people and also helping some other people with, again, mission planning.
Sebastian,
most of the time.
How has your life changed since all the operations and physical therapy? Like, do you still have full use, range of motion of your arm?
Yeah, in the beginning, I remember this because obviously I still wanted to fight, and even after getting wounded in the very first second when I saw it, I thought I want to fight again. So there's no chance that I will find a way to fully recover. And then in Germany, they told me, "Oh, well, normally the people after this surgery recover like 70% of range of motion." And I say, "Well, I am here, so I am not normal anyway. So don't worry, I'm gonna recover 100%. And I say like, "Oh well, good luck with that." The Germans were really, really, really like sincere with what they were expecting. Later, got really good rehabilitation in Ukraine. They decided that my wounds are already healed, like in 1 month and a half. Even when they were expecting like 6 months, and they decided to like in the second month take out the screw. After that, I recover 100% of the mobility. Obviously, now I'm like dealing with getting some muscle back because it was like so yeah, like it's been pretty interesting time. Like being happy to, being
After
happy
all
from.
that, sorry.
Yeah, being happy from, because in the beginning I could not even move my fingers. So I start to move my fingers again. I start to move my elbow. I start from 0 to 100. It's been pretty cool. So yeah, like I just relearned to use my arm, and now I'm like ready to combat again.
Great. It's like after all that, a lot of people they would just like reevaluate their situation and say to themselves, "All right, I did enough. I'm gonna go home now." But you've decided like, no, I'm gonna continue on doing what I set out to do, and now you're training guys in Kiev, right?
I mean, I've been in Kiev. I've been outside Kiev too. So yeah, I've been also in Kharkiv. But yeah, like I'll say that I'll spend at least like I don't know, a lot of time in Kiev now. But yeah, it's a little bit more like comfortable, but also because my rehabilitation center is in Kiev. If not, I will be like more to the east, possibly. But yeah, like other people maybe will think, I don't know, not all. I've met people that's way braver and way cooler than me. Like that's not so difficult. But yeah, really, really cool people that have like lost more than me. They have lost family members. They have lost like way like friends. They got chilled too, and they're still here. And I think that you can relate with that. But yeah, for me, Ukraine is my house now. Ukraine is my home, and obviously I want to defend this place. And like the rest doesn't matter. I think that like it was, I think Socrates said once that like a real man should not care about if something is dangerous or is safe, but if something is correct, if something is right, or something is good, or something is evil. That I think is the most important part of all. Doesn't matter if it's dangerous, if what the things that you're doing are the good things.
That brings me to my next question for you. Like, what do you have to say to people who maybe don't support Ukraine? Like, what do you have to say to people out there about?
I mean, like there's even in these times where you have sources of information everywhere, and you can like check what's true or not. There's still being people that believe in the flat Earth, so it's difficult to convince everyone. And there's people that they are just so wrong, but they don't want to accept it. So yeah, it's difficult to convince those. Maybe if there's someone that's willing to listen, it's easy just to check. Like there's nothing that can excuse the amount of things that they have done. There's nothing to excuse a group of Russian soldiers beating to death like a 70 years old old man. There's nothing that can. There's no excuses for like raping a girl in the house, like in her house in Izium, with her family in the other room, just so they can listen her screams, like all those sorts of things. I saw the faces of these victims, and there's nothing that can there's no excuses for that. Like there's just pure evil. Personally, I will never touch a civilian, even if it's Russian. I will never touch a civilian. That makes us different, and just like if you support that sort of things, I think there's nothing that we can talk with that sort of people.
Well said.
Like you just can check like Russia have lie all the time. Before 2014, they were saying that they will support they will like respect the sovereignty of Ukraine. Then, like some time later, they took Crimea and basically Donetsk and Luhansk. Later, they say that they had no intention to go further. They invaded Ukraine in 2022, but they say they just wanted to liberate the people from the government, but they had no intention to occupy the territories. And now they occupy the territories, and they say that the territories are already theirs. And they say that now the last thing that you can see is the official discourse is actually to erase everything Ukrainian from the land. So I don't know, like there's nothing that can excuse that sort of things. I would like to say that wars and every conflict in humanity are not black and white, but shades of gray. But I think in this case, it's pretty black and white. It's black and white enough.
Well said. I like to kind of end with kind of giving my guests, the freedom to say a final message, drop a little verse of words of wisdom. And also I always like to include, of course, links, anything for people to get a hold of you, like whether it be through social media or if you have GoFundMe or anything like that. I like to include it. But now is your time to go ahead and kind of say your piece and, deliver that message.
I think first, like everyone should just know that we are all students. We're all learning in this life. That you can learn something new from everyone. There's no. But I think that the people that the real heroes of this story are those who are not here to tell it, to tell the story to all of us, are those who are still fighting, are those who have died, are those who you can find their flags in Maidan, even those who doesn't have a flag because no one know where they are anymore. Like those guys are those who deserve all the respect. Like I've done nothing in comparison with them, especially because I'm here talking. You can check again. Like you can check my story in my Instagram, Cuervoso. Maybe if you want to support me to get more new gear, like maybe a thermal optic. Now that I'm about to return to combat. You can find my PayPal in my Instagram. It's just Cuervoso. It's not that difficult.
Sebastian, I want to thank you for your time, but I also want to thank you for your service. It really means a lot for me getting you to come out here on this platform and spread your message. Your story's really inspirational. I think a lot of people can find inspiration and courage to go about things in life from what you've had to say. So again, I just want to thank you. And I want to let everyone out there know that if you want to get a hold of Sebastian, I'll be listing all of his social media links. Feel free to get a hold of him, say what you want. He's a really cool guy. He's open to talk to anybody. He's even open to talk to me. And again, guys, like if you have any topics out there you want me to cover or any specific people you want me to interview, please drop a comment. I really want to hear from you guys. I want to know. And, please help me out by subscribing to the channel. It really helps the algorithm. It really helps me out when you guys blow that like button away with the RPG. And, once again, Sebastian, thank you. And we're going to leave it at that. So you guys, everyone out there, have a good night. Tell the ones you love them. And Crusader out. Thanks again, Sebastian.